Hello there! This is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you guys my review of the LEGO Star Wars 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack, the sequel. It is set number 75345, comes with 119 pieces, and is rated ages 6 and up. Now, like I said, this is the sequel, at least that's what I'm calling it, to the original 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. Now, the set has scenery from the Clone Wars Season 7, but all the Clone Troopers featured in the set are actually based off of Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is pretty interesting, especially since that's now quite an old game, especially by video game standards. It came out quite a few years ago now, so still very cool to get these sort of variant clone troopers. Is this as good as the original? Well, I guess you're gonna have to watch this review to find out. Now, this set retails in the United States for $19.99 and in Canada for $24.99. So, of course, it does fall under the price increases. You know, they're not going to roll them back even if inflation dies down. This is the new battle pack price, unfortunately, unless you wait to get these on sale. Which, if you are going to army build, I'll just say it right now. Pick one or a couple up at retail price, but then wait for it to go on sale on Amazon. They're going to go on sale probably sooner than you expect. You know, we're already seeing sets that just released in the summer heavily discounted. Even the Snowtrooper Battle Pack went on sale quite quickly. Just a few months later on Amazon, at least in Canada, and I'm assuming elsewhere in the United States and Europe. So, right off the top of that, if you're planning on army building this set, which it does have a decent level of army building capabilities, though I will say probably not as much as the original 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. Taking a look at the box, as you can see, it is based off the Clone Wars Season 7. What you can tell is you can see the actual bridge that we see in the opening of the final arc when we first see, you know, Anakin kind of rescue Obi-Wan and the 212 with his 501st Clone Troopers, which use, you know, the jet troopers and whatnot. And, yeah, it's very nice. It's got some decent scenery overall. You can see the clone at the top there. It's a very simple box, but it also is described as a Clone Wars set, which is sort of interesting. I mean, like I said, like it's obviously the sceneries represent the Clone Wars, but these figures are from Battlefront 2. But obviously these lines seem to be lifted from what Hasbro's doing with their, you know, Black Series lineup, where, you know, yellow would represent the Clone Wars, red represents, I think, Attack of the Clones, etc. So I don't know if that's like a mandate from Lucasfilm or Disney to do that, but interestingly enough, as been noted, there's the Clone Wars 20th anniversary, but that would apply to the 2002-2003 2D animated one, not the 3D one that had, you know, Ahsoka and Captain Rex and all the characters that we all love today. This is the, as far as we're aware, non-canon version of the Clone Wars. But now, I almost forgot to mention that one of the things that's a little bit disappointing to see is the level of false advertisement we're starting to see. And I don't know if I brought it up much with my ATT review, but this is just too blatant to me to not, because you'd have to go out of your way to do it. And that's this little antenna here. I know it's been noted by others, but I just want to give my thoughts on it. And I just think it's kind of gross, is what it comes down to, is they have where the antenna should be, but for whatever reason, LEGO just couldn't get the holes to go there. Maybe it was a stability issue, maybe the helmets were falling apart. We don't know, because LEGO doesn't communicate why they do things the way they do. Like, maybe they felt it looked weird with the visor or something. I've seen that brought up. I've seen, like I said, people thinking that the stability of the helmets couldn't be there. But then you have this. You know, before with the 212 Clone Troopers of the ATT, it was just, you know, the blatant, where, you know, the helmets are not at all like how they're supposed to be. And in this case, it's this antenna is in the hole lower to where it'll actually be. And you can actually see the hole that the helmet will go into, or the antenna would go into. So at the end of the day, someone would have had to take a picture and choose to move this down. And that's what it comes down to. It's just false advertising from LEGO about what their product is, and I just don't like it, and I know a lot of people don't like it, and the only way things are going to change is if you call it out. And sorry if you're the biggest LEGO shill in the world, but this is false advertising, and this is purposely done. And like, it is just annoying to see, because at the end of the day, these helmet holes, while I'm glad they started doing them, I wish they found a way to keep it where it's supposed to be, so it's more accurate and looks better than how they currently have it. But it's what we have for the time being, I guess. So all we can do is say when they do stuff like this and call it out and hope things change, but I guess we'll see. So starting off, we'll take a look at the little manual here. As you can see, it's a very small manual, which does make sense as this is 119 pieces. It's not like the original 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack that originally was like double the pieces and actually had 2 manuals, but it is under the new style of manuals. Take a look at our first Clone Trooper. We have the 501st Officer, and he has some great printing. He is slightly different than the original Clone Troopers from the 501st Battle Pack, which we will show off in a moment, but you know, he has the blue belts. He also has the printed waist cape, which does not wrap around, at least to the sides, which is really my biggest gripe. I wish that LEGO would still be doing cloth waist capes, and it looks like they will do it in more expensive sets. Unfortunately, looks like the era of always getting these waist capes, like you remember the classic Clone Commando and ARC Trooper, or ARF Trooper, you know, the Clone Specialist and Commando Droids Battle Pack way back in, I believe, 2012, had, you know, the waist capes included in that set, and that's well over a decade ago, but LEGO, I guess, feels like kids don't have the patience to put a waist cape on. Still, I really feel like they could have printed onto the sides. We've seen LEGO consistently start doing that, even in cheaper sets, and I just feel like that's really disappointing to not see it printed around on this figure, especially since it's the only figure with waist cape, so I think it just would have really enhanced the figure. Now the back printing is very nice with the blue belt wrapping around there. It also has the blue backing, and be remiss not to bring up the blue antenna, which has obviously been a discussion point. The helmet itself is actually, I believe, the exact same. It's just the new mold, but it's the same sort of printing as the original 501st Clone Troopers, the regulars, not the Jet Trooper. But the antenna does look pretty nice, I gotta say. Now, blue is, I believe, accurate to the game, but generally we don't see them having blue antennas in the like the Clone Wars show. Though I could be wrong in that, I just don't remember seeing it. Now he does have the newer style, relatively newer style. I believe it came in 2020. The more Temuera Morrison face style rather than the D. Bradley Baker clone style, which is pretty nice, I gotta say. And he came with this pistol. This pistol was extra along with this binocular piece, so I decided to sort of make a mock because I felt like the officer would have 2 guns. So this is just an extra pieces, and I just threw together because the other clones I felt were a bit more prepared than the officer. Next up, we have 2 of these characters, which are the 501st Heavy Troopers, and gotta say, I really like the printing overall on these figures. Especially the torso print. Leg printing is probably a big disappointment, as has been mentioned by others, but they do get this very nice printed piece. This is printed. You get actually 3 of these pieces, so 2 for the heavy, and then 1 is an extra, so you could technically make your own clone backpacks, which I think is awesome. But yeah, great printed detail on these backpacks. They have the blue visor, which again, a lot of people are disappointed about, since it's a piece from 2008 just recolored. Would have been nice to see brand new pieces. Like, couldn't LEGO have just designed a 2-in-1 or like a dual molded mask specifically for the clones that needed these masks, like Commander Cody, like these Heavy Troopers, and then had regulars without it, or only 1 hole, etc. Just little things that I think that LEGO probably could have done. Would have cost a bit more money, but it's not like they wouldn't be used. There's quite a few clones that have these sort of attachments that they could use. They could put it in basically every future clone pack, have 1 character that has a dual molded with this visor, and I think it would look excellent. But I do think the blue is a very nice touch on it, and I think it looks good overall. The face, or the helmet print, is very similar to Commander Cody with these sort of indentations. Also the Clone Gunners, I believe, from the 2022 AT-AT, or ATT, sorry. And I believe the other big sticking point was these were not dual molded legs, as in the game they have sort of blue underneath, so it would have been nice to see dual molded legs there. The gun is using, the sort of Space Police gun with the binoculars. I always described this as looking sort of like a shotgun piece when I was younger, so it looks okay. I hope one day we start to get another like brand new Lego Star Wars gun piece. I think we're overdue for one. I think it's okay what they've been doing, mixing and matching these pieces, using the candlestick on the rifles, etc. But I would like to see them design an actual new mold, because I think we're due for one at this point. Almost forgot to show off the back printing with the backpack off, so of course you can take his helmet off to reveal the backpack and the back printing, which looks like that. So very nice. It has the strap consistent in that aspect, and then you can see the nice backpack print there. And like I said, you get an extra one of these when you as an extra piece, which is very nice. So you don't get an extra one of these black pieces, but these are relatively common pieces. I think I've even gotten them before as an extra piece. So you can basically put this towards other clone troopers so they can have backpacks as well, not just the heavy troopers, which is very awesome in my opinion. And then last but certainly not least, and probably my favorite figure in the set, personally, just with the torso print, I feel like this is probably the best consistency using all the pieces with the rifle and whatnot, is the 501st Clone Specialist. And he has the great little printed 2 ticks, very accurate to the game. Stop the nice blue arms. Generally, this is the same printing as the torso of the regular 501st clones. And he also as well. There's no difference in the head molds. I believe I forgot to open up the helmet for the heavy trooper, but there's no difference. You have the brand new micro binocular piece, which is long overdue. I mean, this has been made by like custom clone or like companies, Culinary Customs, etc. Brick Arms, I believe, did it back in the day. These micro binocular pieces, and sort of the one disappointing thing is there should be, to be accurate to the game, a little blue strip there. They chose not to do it. Now that does enable you to put this piece elsewhere, but I actually would have preferred if they had a black strip. I should note that in the game that this piece is based off of, there's only a blue strip. There's no like black line, but just to be used across elsewhere, I feel like it looks a little bit weird. Like it's almost like it's not goggles, but almost just like a mask you put on so you can go to sleep, because how do they see out of this, etc. Just with it being all white. It kind of, like, I believe it's been described as almost looking like a prototype piece. I think that's very accurate. I think it could have came out a little bit better. Now he's using the rifle with the candlestick piece, which does work quite well. Very smart. I mean, it's such a simple thing, but hey, I think it does look like a standard DC-15 rifle. Obviously, it won't match up to like the custom Lego Star Wars guns that some of these custom companies make, but it still looks pretty darn good. Now you are left with some extra pieces, including an extra micro binocular, a couple extra visors and antenna pieces. So very nice to see. And then some other Technic and an extra, missile shooter. So nice to get those as extra pieces, especially the extra, visors and whatnot. Obviously, can only use these visors on the newer clone style helmets. So you're going to end up with a lot unless you drill your own holes into your old helmets, obviously. Because obviously the blue is only going to apply to 501st Clone Troopers, and as of today, these are the only sets with 501st Clone Troopers in them. So chances are you're going to end up with a lot of visors, but you could apply them to the old Clone Wars style helmets, of course, as well, that did have the holes. Taking a look at the cannon, and I gotta say, it looks very excellent. It definitely is one of the better builds, especially for one of these smaller battle packs that we've gotten, especially recently. Definitely superior to, the Sith Trooper battle pack, the Mandalorian battle pack. It won't touch the original 501st Clone Trooper battle pack, but it's basically a whole set there. It wasn't even, I don't even think it was called a battle pack. It was just called 501st Legion Clone Troopers, so it's a little bit different there, but for a little build that you could definitely collect a few of these and feel okay. I'd be very interested to see if anyone rebrickable models this up into a larger one, you know, using maybe 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of these, and builds a massive, or maybe not a massive one, but a larger cannon that would, I think, look very cool. And we'll see what the community comes up with, I guess. But on its own, I think this is an excellent build. You can, of course, place your characters onto the build. Now it is just a little slit for their legs to sit in. They don't actually have studs on. And all you can really do is push it back up and down, and it's a very short distance as well. So that's really the biggest drawback, I'd say, is you only got maybe a 45-degree angle difference. Maybe not even, maybe a 30-degree angle. And that's all you get to sort of play around with it. So it works okay, but that's the biggest drawback, I would say. Now, of course, I said we would talk about the original in comparison to this one, so that's what I'm going to do. So right here, we have the original 5 Clone Trooper Battle Pack, still sealed. Got it from LEGO at one of their recent Double Points events. So last time it was on Lego.com. It's done. It's retired now. You might find it in stores, but that's going to be it. And once it's gone, it's gone. I know it's gone out of my local LEGO stores there. So we have the original here to the right. Missing one of the Clone Troopers. He's sort of somewhere. I mean, I have a few of them, but I haven't opened all my sets, so not sure where the 4th clone is, and obviously the 2 battle droids. But if we're going to be fully honest, obviously this set blows this one out of the water. But in terms of value, I actually think this one might be a little bit better. And the reason is you're still getting the same amount of clones for in exchange for less money. So in my case in Canada, spending $15 less. I believe it's about the same, and you're spending about $10 less in the United States. So in that aspect, you're saving money. Now, the builds, gotta say, are a lot superior, even if people are down on this ATRT. Personally, I thought this was decently accurate. It's not perfect, but for what they built, I thought they did a pretty good job. And the BARC speeders, like both of these were excellent army building capabilities. You know, you could have a bunch of them and feel okay with it. At a certain point with these, because of the size and accuracy, I think, you know, that's why I brought up rebrickable models of creating a larger, more accurate one, because we don't see ones that are these small in the show, while we see similar, maybe not perfectly sized, minifigure scale accurate, but very similar in size in the show. So, and then, of course, getting the regular Clone Trooper is a little bit better, just because, you know, we see more of them. They're not specialists. You amass more of those clones, but in saying that, you can still collect as many as you want of these ones, because at the end of the day, it's your army, and I'm going to collect a few of these. Am I going to collect as many as I aim for here? I think I ended my collection with about 18 of these. I wanted to get more, but they just sold out. I was hoping for one final sale on Amazon, but then all of a sudden they were just gone. So that was on me. But I still think I'd want to collect, you know, between 5 and 10 of those to go with the others that I have here. And I think I'll have a very big 501st Clone Trooper army. Now, one of the great things about the newer battle packs is while they have all these accessories, I think they go excellent next to each other. As you can see there, all the Clone Troopers lining up, they're all 501st clones. They look like a whole unit, essentially. I love that sort of idea of having a whole unit of clones. You can really create your own sort of squadrons type ideas. And I think it just works excellently. Overall, the newer LEGO Star Wars 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack is, I think, a success. And while I don't think it reaches the same heights as the original 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack, I think it's a great add-on. And I definitely think it's worth army building. But like I said, I would wait to fully start army building for when this set goes on sale. It's going to go on sale. The 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack, while it took a while, did go on sale. We saw the Snow Trooper Battle Pack go on sale. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if the set sells out right away. But I have a feeling it's not going to be out as long as the 501st Battle Pack was originally. If you don't remember, when the original 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack came out, it sold out instantly, and then was gone for about 6 months as they couldn't meet demand. But then they produced tons for the rest, and they were always on sale after a certain point, especially in the United States. So you could always count on getting it at a very good price point. And I strongly doubt this one will sell out as long as the original did, though I wouldn't be surprised if it sells out initially. So expect that. That's why I say maybe get 1 or 2. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the limit is 1 or at most 2 to collect this set on release day. But it will come out again. You'll be able to get more in the future. Just expect a little delay when it first comes out. With that being said, that's all my opinions. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. This has been LEGO Dynasty. Please leave a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.